Did you know many of your favorite female celebrities are quietly serving hard times, swapping red carpets for razor wire? Yacht deck murders, Silicon Valley fairy tales, and $36 million check kiting, each woman proves celebrity is no shield against cold, fluorescent light. Tonight, Criminal Diary tears open sealed case files, revealing how stardom curdled into scandal, indictment, and steel doors. Ghislaine Maxwell. Born in 1961 to London publishing Baron Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine spoke 5 languages by prep school graduation and could network a cocktail room like a chess master. When she drifted into Jeffrey Epstein's orbit in the 1990s, she curated guest lists studded with princes, presidents, and MIT luminaries. Yet, beneath the caviar veneer, she ran a pipeline of vulnerable girls to Epstein's mansions, promising modeling gigs and foreign travel while collecting passports and crushing resistance with a debutante's smile. The pipeline snapped in July 2019 when Epstein was arrested. Flight risk whispers ballooned. Maxwell vanished to $1 million hideout in New Hampshire until a tactical FBI team ended the hide-and-seek. A December 2021 jury convicted her on 5 counts, including sex trafficking of minors. Judge Allison Nathan labeled her crimes monstrous and delivered 20 years. FCI Tallahassee is a low-security world of 5 a.m. counts, peanut butter sandwiches. Her release is listed as July 17, 2037. Once, she traded phone numbers with billionaires. Power, predation, silence. 3 words that built her empire, and now curse every minute of her long, gray future. Elizabeth Holmes. Theranos founder Elizabeth Ann Holmes spent her childhood memorizing Thomas Edison quotes and dreaming of biomedical disruption. In 2013, the Stanford dropout unveiled a tiny Edison machine that promised to diagnose hundreds of ailments from a fingerstick of blood. Forbes crowned her the world's youngest self-made female billionaire. But former employees whispered Wall Street Journal reporter John Carreyrou dug, and in 2015 the scientific facade cracked. Internal emails revealed doctored data, malfunctioning devices, and patients misdiagnosed with cancer and HIV. Holmes doubled down, press tours, black turtlenecks, a baritone voice of certainty, until federal indictments arrived in 2018. A San Jose jury in January 2022 convicted her of 4 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy. Investors had lost nearly $1 billion. Judge Edward Davila weighed 140 letters of support. On 30 May 2023, Holmes surrendered to the minimum security federal prison camp at Bryan, Texas, leaving behind 2 toddlers and a legacy pulverized by her own hype. Inside, she scrubs floors for 12 cents an hour, studies Spanish in the law library, and tracks appeals that inch like molasses through Ninth Circuit calendars. The inmates who fold laundry beside her offer no sympathy. Julie Chrisley. On USA Network's Chrisley Knows Best, Julie baked cookies in marble kitchens and counseled kids on etiquette. The IRS, however, followed bank statements instead of sitcom scripts. Prosecutors mapped a $36 million fraud, forged financials for loans, unpaid taxes, and hiding income through shell companies. In November 2022, a Georgia jury convicted Julie and husband Todd on conspiracy, bank fraud, and tax evasion counts. Judge Eleanor Ross voiced astonishment at bold-faced deceit, sentencing Todd to 12 years and Julie to 7. They surrendered in January 2023, Todd to FPC Pensacola, Julie to Lexington's Federal Medical Center. Inside, Julie volunteers in the hospice unit, teaching quilting to cancer patients. Appeals fizzled in May 2024. Resentencing in April 2025 left terms unchanged. Mansion's square footage is now 8 feet by 10, and the only wardrobe budget is $19.45 of monthly commissary. Fraud bought fame. It just couldn't buy freedom. Lori Vallow Dybel. Lori Vallow once blogged about PTA tips and end times prophecies. By 2019, the Idaho mother believed she was a translated being, destined to survive the apocalypse alongside doomsday author Chad Daybell. That belief metastasized into murder. Her children, 7-year-old JJ and 16-year-old Tylee, vanished in September 2019. She flew to Hawaii, married Chad on a sunset beach, and danced under tiki torches while relatives begged for the kids' whereabouts. Police found burned, dismembered remains on Chad's property in June 2020. A Boise jury in May 2023 convicted Lori of 2 counts of first-degree murder and 3 counts of conspiracy. Judge Stephen Boyce called her duplicitous and relentless, imposing 3 consecutive life sentences, no parole, no possibility. Housed at Pocatello Women's Correctional, separate Arizona murder conspiracy trial looms in late 2025 for the shooting death of her 4th husband. She states angels will free her. Jodi Arias. June 2008, Mesa, Arizona. Detectives discover motivational salesman Travis Alexander stabbed 27 times, pistol shot to the head. Cameras seize on ex-girlfriend Jodi Arias, masked intruders, finally self-defense. Court TV thirsted. A 2013 trial became daytime soap. Jurors deliberated 4 days and returned a first-degree murder verdict. Life, without parole, landed her in Perryville's Arizona State Prison complex. She paints Christmas cards for charity and files lawsuits about bad food and stray cats. An incident report in 2016 noted verbal insolence toward staff. Another flagged contraband hair dye. Apart from that, silence, except the sentence itself, which whispers for the rest of her natural life. Shannon Guess Richardson. Shannon Guess Richardson, an actress with minor roles in popular television shows like The Walking Dead and The Vampire Diaries, took a dark and unexpected turn into criminality. Richardson's aspirations in the entertainment industry belied a dangerous and disturbed mindset. In 2013, Richardson mailed letters containing the deadly toxin ricin to President Barack Obama, New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg, and Mark Glaze, the director of Mayors Against Illegal Guns. These acts were intended to harm and terrorize her targets, driven by unknown motivations that were explored during the subsequent investigation. The investigation into the ricin-laced letters quickly focused on Richardson, and she was arrested shortly after the letters were intercepted. In 2014, Shannon Guess Richardson was convicted and sentenced to 18 years in prison. Her case serves as a chilling example of how individuals with seemingly ordinary lives can harbor dangerous intentions. Her time in prison marks a stark contrast to her fleeting moments in the spotlight, a consequence of her perilous choices. Zara Fithian. Zara Fithian was known as an actress and martial arts instructor in the United Kingdom. She had appeared in several low-budget films and was recognized for her skills in martial arts. Her public persona was shattered by the revelation of her involvement in serious criminal activity. In May 2022, Zara Fithian was sentenced to 8 years in prison for historical sexual abuse of a minor. The details of the case revealed a disturbing betrayal of trust and a significant abuse of power. The conviction and subsequent imprisonment brought a stark end to her career and public life, casting a dark shadow over her previous achievements. Fithian's case highlights the fact that individuals from all walks of life can be capable of committing grave offenses. Her incarceration serves as a consequence of the harm she inflicted and a reminder of the importance of accountability, regardless of one's public profile. Amy Locane. June 2010, Montgomery, New Jersey. Melrose Place, Alum. 3 glasses of wine deep, clips a mailbox, roars past flashing lights, and slams her SUV into Helene Seaman's Mercury sedan at 53 miles per hour. Seaman dies. Husband Fred is gravely injured. 6 trials and resentencings fought over procedural errors and judge turnover. Relatives sat through each, clutching photos. In September 2020, Judge Angela Borkowski delivered 8 years, Locane's fourth sentence for the same crash. She served 39 months in Edna Mahan before parole December 2024. She lectures high schoolers on DUI trauma. Freedom is hers again, but the family she shattered never got an appeal. Lil' Kim, Kimberly Jones, February 2001. Bullets spray outside a Hot 97 radio interview between rapper Lil' Kim's entourage and rival group Capone and Noreaga. Witnesses later identify Kim, but a grand jury says she lied. No gun, she claimed, no friends present. Surveillance proved otherwise. A federal jury convicted her of perjury and conspiracy. Judge Gerard Lynch imposed 366 days and a $50,000 fine. Kim entered FCI Philadelphia, carrying pink stationery, and left in July 2006. A single year inside became pop culture's cautionary interlude. Even rap royalty goes silent when steel doors slam. Tammy Lynn Sitch, Sunny. Tammy Lynn Sitch, better known by her wrestling moniker Sunny, is a WWE Hall of Famer who experienced a significant and tragic downfall. Born in 1972, Sitch was a prominent figure in professional wrestling during the 1990s, enjoying considerable fame and recognition. In more recent years, her life has been marked by personal struggles and legal issues. In November 2023, Tammy Lynn Sitch was sentenced to 17 years in prison following a fatal car crash in March 2022. Sitch, under the influence of alcohol and drugs, caused a collision that resulted in the death of a 75-year-old man. In addition to the charge of DUI causing death, she was also sentenced for other related offenses. The sentencing of a beloved figure from the world of professional wrestling sent shockwaves through the industry and among her fans. Sitch's case serves as a sobering reminder of the dangers of impaired driving and the devastating impact it can have on individuals and their families. While she has reportedly requested a modification to her sentence, she remains incarcerated, a stark contrast to the adulation she once received in the wrestling ring. Her story is a cautionary tale of how personal struggles can lead to profound and irreversible consequences. Teresa Giudice, the table-flipping titan of Real Housewives of New Jersey, orchestrated a life of luxury built on falsified W-2s, deceptions in bankruptcy court, and a staggering $5 million in bank fraud. Standing beside her husband Joe, she entered a guilty plea in 2014. To ensure one parent remained with their children, Judge Esther Salas implemented staggered sentences, with Teresa receiving a 15-month term. FCI Danbury, ironically dubbed Camp Cupcake, following Martha Stewart's stay, was far from a sweet retreat. Teresa found herself learning the intricacies of plumbing maintenance, swapping her signature bronzer for practical shower flip-flops, and penning Turning the Tables, a prison diary that became a bestseller. She was back filming scenes for Bravo within weeks, showcasing a new yoga-toned physique and skillfully leveraging her felonious fame to boost cookbook sales. It seems prison bars don't always bar celebrities, but they invariably add a permanent, dramatic twist to the life story. Allison Mack. Known as Smallville's wholesome girl next door, Chloe Sullivan, Allison Mack transformed into Keith Raniere's principal recruiter for the NXIVM cult. Under the guise of self-improvement, women were coerced into signing pledges, endured agonizing brandings of Raniere's initials near their bikini lines, and were forced to provide blackmail material. A tearful Mack pleaded guilty to charges of racketeering and forced labor conspiracy, attributing her actions to misguided devotion and facing a potential 15 years behind bars. Judge Nicholas Garofis acknowledged her crucial testimony against Raniere, ultimately sentencing her to 3 years in prison, a $20,000 fine, and 1,000 hours of community service. She began her sentence at FC Warren Dublin in September 2021. During her incarceration, she reportedly taught theater warm-up exercises, penned letters of apology to her victims. Her release came on Independence Day, 2023. Hollywood remains wary of any association with the cult's notorious headlines, offering no new auditions. While she has regained her freedom, a swift internet search acts as a career death sentence, one that may prove far more enduring than her 3 years in actual confinement. Cheyenne Shea Victorio. A trailblazer in Brazilian esports, Cheyenne Victorio parlayed her Counter-Strike fame to a legion of teenage admirers, only to allegedly defraud 118 of them through an online merchandise store that took payments but failed to deliver any goods. A São Paulo court meticulously tallied the defrauded customers, applied consumer fraud enhancements, and in June 2020 handed down a sentence of 116 years and 6 months. Victorio occasionally streams during prison furloughs, maintaining her innocence and claiming her ex-husband forged documents. Yet, the customers possess receipts, and the sentence stands like an insurmountable scoreboard. In the virtual world of video games, players can respawn. In the stark reality of the penitentiary, there is only the relentless march of time and a lag that stretches for decades. Martha Stewart. The undisputed queen of domestic sophistication, Martha Stewart, disposed of 3,960 shares of ImClone stock based on a confidential tip from her broker. The SEC's subsequent subpoenas were met with scoffing disdain from Martha. A federal jury in 2004 found her guilty of conspiracy, obstruction of justice, and making false statements. Her penalty included 5 months at FCI Alderson, later to gain the Camp Cupcake moniker, followed by 5 months of house arrest and a 5-year ban from serving as an officer or director of a public company. Martha utilized her confinement to crochet ponchos, teach yoga, and meticulously plan the resurgence of her empire. Today, her net worth exceeds $400 million. Nevertheless, her mugshot continues to be featured in white-collar crime textbooks. The quintessential hostess who discovered that the SEC doesn't require an RSVP. Heidi Fleiss. Dubbed Hollywood's Madam to the Stars in the 1990s, Heidi Fleiss managed an infamous black book rumored to contain the names of A-list celebrities. The IRS, however, was less interested in her clientele than in the millions of dollars in unreported income. In 1997, a federal judge sentenced her to 37 months in prison for tax evasion and money laundering. Her time at FCI Dublin was a stark contrast to her glamorous lifestyle. Solitary nights replaced the star-studded after-parties of Beverly Hills. Paroled in 1999, Fleiss took an unexpected turn, opening a parrot sanctuary in Nevada and becoming an advocate against cockfighting. From managing escorts to rescuing macaws in this new chapter, the birds are free to fly.